Hello students, today we will learn the first chapter, the medieval world from history. So before starting of this chapter, we have to understand some of the points we already understood in 6th standard. The study of past, that means history. What do you mean by history? Yeah, history means past. Okay, history means past, and past means the events already occurred. Okay, the events already occurred, that is known as past. So here the past is divided into different period, that is ancient, medieval and modern. Ancient we already learned in 6th standard. Medieval, that means middle period. Okay, medieval means middle period that we study in this standard, we will study in 7th standard, and later on the modern period. So medieval, the first meaning we have to understand, that is medieval means middle. Okay, so in India, medieval period, that is this medieval period, they categorized from 8th to 18th century. Okay, 8th to 18th century, nearly we can count as 1100 years. Okay, now why they have taken this century as a medieval period? Because in this we can say in this period there are lots of changes occurred. Yes, lots of changes, like changes in society, like formation of society, economy. Economy means trading of goods, producing of goods, polity, religion, culture. Okay, all these changes occurred in this period only. And in the same manner, 18th century is also witnessed this some more changes. Okay, so this period is consisted as medieval period. Now this medieval period itself divided into two part, that is early medieval period and late medieval period. Okay, now what is early medieval period and late medieval period? For better understanding, I will share you the next page. You can see in that. See here, you can see what? Here it is written, the past is divided into periods. Okay, so in this diagram what you can see? Ancient, medieval and modern. In ancient we already discussed about hunter-gatherers, invention of fire, wheel, agriculture, civilization, Janapadas, Mahajanapadas, etc. Okay, now in medieval world, what we will understand about kingdom, their dynasties, the developments made by the emperors, different sources, evidences, which all these create our history. Okay, now last, that is modern. So what do you mean by history? History is nothing but the study of past. Inscriptions. Now what is inscription? First of all, we will understand the meaning. It is a writing on a hard material like stone, metal, medal. Okay, that is called inscription. Now in southern India, inscription we got, from that we can understand what are the gifts, or these are like gifts given to the temple people, learned men by the emperor or kings. Okay, as a gift. And in that inscription or that gift we can have a idea that why they have provided that gift, who given, to whom given, at which time, that is which the date also we can understand. Everything is written in that copper plate. Okay, it is called as copper plate because it is also written in copper also. Okay, so that is called inscription. Sometimes they inscribe on temples also, like orders, like new rules or some whatever they can inscribe on the temple walls also, so people can see, people can understand. Now next sources are literary. Whatever we study right now, that all are archaeological sources. Now we study the literary sources. First of all, we understand the meaning. Literary means writing evidences, okay, written records. So in medieval period we have lot of literary sources. Paper is also available later on, so people started writing in paper also. But in ancient, that's the most writing we can find in manuscripts. Okay, you can see the image of manuscript. What is manuscript? Manuscript means it's a handwritten record. Okay, manuscript means it's a handwritten record, especially on the leaves, barks of leaves, and all this. Here we already understood what is medieval period. Okay, medieval period means middle period, stretches from 8th to 18th century. Now in this diagram or in this chart we can see how this medieval period is divided. You can see now there are two parts, early medieval and late medieval. Now what we can see in the early medieval period, from 8th to 13th century, lots of emperors, or we can say the kingdom ruled by the king. Okay, that is Pala dynasty, Pratihara dynasty, Rashtrakud dynasty, the Chola empire, and the Rajput dynasties. That means in this period these are the emperors, those who ruled over different parts of our Indian subcontinent. Okay, now after their ruling from 13th to 18th century, you can see the late medieval period consists of Turks, Afghans, and Mughals. Okay, that means some people come from Turks to invade India, then ruled in India. After that, Afghans came, they ruled in India. Later on, Mughals came and they also ruled in India. Okay, these all are called the invaders. Okay, they are the Turks, Afghans, and Mughals are known as the invaders because they invade India to capture the wealth and to expand their rule. Okay, so what we understood here, the early medieval period who ruled and the late medieval period who ruled. Now the next topic is the names of India. In names of India, I just share you the page. In names of India, what we can see, there are different names, that is Bharat, India, or Hindustan, that we know commonly. But in ancient time, it is known as Bharatvarsh, Jambudvip. Okay. Now, why it is Bharatvarsh or Jambudvip? Because Bharatvarsh at that time, it is referred because of the Emperor Bharat. He was the son of King Dushyant and Shakuntala. He was an ancestor of Pandavas and Kauravas. Okay, so at that time he ruled in the Indian subcontinent, so it is named as Bharatvarsh. And later on Jambudvip, because at that time in India lots of big huge jamun trees are there. Okay, jamun trees, I think you know all people. So that is why it is referred as Jambudvip. Apart from these two names, it is also referred as India. But how this India word origined or derived? Because in ancient time, people live along with the bank of river Sindhu. Sindhu is nothing else, it is the Indus river. We can understand, it is the Indus river. So the word Sindhu is in a Sanskrit, and in old Persian language it is known as Hindu, and it converted into English form as India. So in this manner we got the name as India. But apart from all this, Hindustan is also referred in the time of medieval period. That means Hindustan at the medieval period, it is referred as the part accompanied with Delhi Sultanate. Okay, the territories accompanied with Delhi Sultanate, and other hand Babur, who was the founder of Mughal, who also invaded India and ruled India. So he referred India as the geography and the natural vegetation. Okay. And later on, lastly, during the British Raj, they given Hindustan as a similar meaning to India. Okay, like that. Now, next topic, major historical developments. Now, major historical development means after the commencement of Muslim rulers, what type of development we got in our country. If we talk about first, that is, I just share you the page. Mixed culture, okay. Due to the commencement of Muslims, we got the growth of mixed culture, lot interaction between North India to South India, Hindus and Muslim interactions, cultural exchanges. Okay, so all these type of changes we got at that time. Muslim dynasties also provided political stability. Political stability, that means they are managing the kingdom. Okay, huge kingdoms, providing the nawabs, commanders to handle the territories. Then lots of trade increase at that time. So all trade increased, so that means they are started getting the wealth also. And all lastly, in medieval period, Bhakti and Sufi movements also developed. Bhakti means the spread of Hinduism, and Sufi means the spread of Muslim community. Okay, so all these are the developments we got after the coming of Muslim rulers. Now we take the next part, that is the sources, which is the actual the content what we have to understand. First of all, sources means what? Sources means evidences or proof. Okay, so here two types of sources are available to understand the ancient. That means the medieval, not ancient, that is medieval period. Because if we talk about ancient, then we only have the archaeological sources only. Okay, why it is? Because in ancient time people don't know how to write, so we can get only archaeological sources. But in medieval period we get both, that in plenty manner. Okay, so first of all we understand what is archaeological sources. These are the sources, for example, palaces, mosque, forts, tomb, weapons, tools, ornaments. Okay, all these are the sources called archaeological. Fine. So what we can understand from these sources? We can understand the people, their culture, what they are using, how they were living, what type of social behavior, the rules, rituals, everything we can understand. Okay, yeah, political, economic and social history of that time. In southern India at that time, the many rulers were influenced to make temple building, because at that time it is very famous, they encouraging the temple building, because that temple building is the source of understanding the religious and cultural history. Okay, now paintings are also one of the sources to understand all these. They're like customs, food habits, jewelry. Now next part, coins. Coins is also important to understand the political events, dates, who minted that coins, what is the purpose of that coins, inscriptions. That also one of the important source we can say.